I'm Hal Diley, Safety Ambassador for Snyder's Riders, and this is our end of season contest. Question number 2 in our end of season contest deals with road reading skills and asks that you name 2 features above the road that may indicate which way the road will go. A question taken from the Staying Safe Motorcycle Training Roadside Workbook, part of the StayinSafe.com tour experience, a safety partner of Snyder's Riders. Anyone that has taken a Stayin' Safe tour can attest to the value of that training. I have a lot of personal experience with Staying Safe, first as a student and now as a lead instructor. After taking my first tour, I sat down with Eric Tro, the owner of Staying Safe. At that point, I had been teaching motorcycle safety for 15 years. I told Eric 2 things. 1, that I felt like I had ridden my bike for the very first time. And number 2, that I was starting to see how to actually apply everything I had been teaching the prior 15 years. This is a highly recommended program. So we're going to take a sneak peek into the answer to this one with a little video training that is part of the Stayin' Safe experience. Enjoy. We'll do everything from stock videos such as this to live video with the students while we're on the road. We do direct coaching with radio or Bluetooth communication. We'll stop alongside the road for what we call chalk talks. And we also do question and answer after each riding segment to further cement the material. And so this is part of a stock footage that I like to use when I'm training people privately. This is in the North Hills, a little bit outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But I like this road section here just for these road reading skills. And our question was, what are 2 features above the road that can give us a clue as to which way the road may go? All right, so one of the big keys in our first riding segment on a Staying Safe tour is all about getting our eyes up, getting our what we call our eye beams on. And the thing is, we see a lot of riders, here's where they're focusing. They're not looking far enough ahead. We call that riding the front wheel, where really we want to be focusing up here. All right, so we want to go from what we call our low eye beams to our high eye beams, learning to get those eye beams on as much as we can from here. So as we come up, I'm going to zoom this in a little bit more. And obviously when you're riding, this is a little clearer. There's some degradation of the video. But here's a few, and we had some great answers already. People already picking this up. Is obviously the guide rail is all leading us that road's going to turn to the right. We have the tree line here, which is going to follow along. And also, you'll see some of the utility poles going that way as well. Now, we always warn people about looking at utility lines or telephone poles. I'm going to back this up because, and you can see a prime example why we don't always follow that, is notice how that will cut across the road. So it seems like, oh, this is going to go way over here. And certainly there is a little bit of a turn, but it immediately comes back. So we don't rely on the telephone poles or telephone lines for that very reason. But as we come up, again, I'm going to zoom this out just a little bit, give you a little more clear view here. As we come up, notice that tree line. There's, again, the utility poles kind of going around, the guide rail, and the tree line. So we have 3 big clues right there on which way the road will go. Obviously, we would be addressing on a tour or private session things such as this, the intersection with the car about ready to pull out, the gas station down here with increased traffic. But staying with the road reading skills, again, we have our utility poles that we can rely on. We have this line of homes here. We have the line of homes here on this side. But what I really want to point out is down the road. Remember, we're trying to look down as far as we can. We're trying to look in front of this rider. We're trying to look in front of that vehicle down there, if at all possible, to pick up information. You can see working around the roadway imperfection there with the lane position. But as I come up here, what information do we have? I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. You can start to see we do have a street sign here. It's hard to see, but right there on that street sign, it's telling me the road is going to go to the right. As I come up a little bit further, the main thing I want to point out here is this roof line. That's a key. That's a good clue. We know, again, that roads run in front of houses, that roof lines often follow the path of the roadway. And as we come around, this is something I can notice in reality. Way back here, I start to see the sign and the roof line. So I'm already preparing that this road may go to the right. As I come up, the clues cement that. Also, something I want to watch out for later is the slow. Tells me it's going to be fairly sharp along with that sign. And you can see the other homes here lining the road, the roof line, the signage, lots of clues there. And notice how directly that roof line mirrors or mimics the curve of that road. So a lot of times you're coming over a hill crest and you're looking down, look for that roof line, as that can be a great clue as which way the road will go. Highways are a great place to build that visual awareness, looking for those features above the road. Remember, the big thing is getting those I-beams up. Rather than staring right here, we're trying to gather information all the way down there about which way the road will go. If I zoom this in, based on what we've already talked about, which way do you think the road's going to go? Those Staying Safe program, we talk about verges. This is the left side of the road, and the right side is in the shadows. We know that if the left overlaps the right, that road is going to go to the left. So for those looking to fine-tune their understanding of verges, or what we call the curtains, left and right side, you can see how that starts to open up. I'm also going to be using these vehicles in front of me. It's a great way to build looking further ahead. Remember, the mind works better with specifics. So when you say look further ahead, can you look in front of that car and notice something before that driver does? Can you look in front of that vehicle and notice something before that one? So here's where we're trying to stretch our vision out. And as we come around, this becomes a combination curve. Notice the hillside back here. Now that's in the sun and this remains in the shadows. So when we see this right side overlapping the left side, we know the road is eventually going to swing back to the right. One final view of features above the road, more of an urban area. All the things we've already discussed about. Homes on the side of the road. Not only that side, but the other side as well. Although we don't rely on them, we make use of what information we can have. Utility poles. Also, think about these parked cars. Acting sort of as a guide rail, telling us that that's going to veer to the left a little bit. As we come down, here again, if I can keep my I-beams on and be looking down here at that vehicle, using it as a scout, I'm going to watch which way is that vehicle turning. Oh, they're going to the right there. Gives me an idea. Not that these don't require specific attention. Right now, we're not worried about them as a conflict, although on the road we are, and we're looking at front tires specifically to see if they angle out, to let us know someone might be pulling out in front of us. That's a discussion for another time. But these all form sort of a guide rail. And again, the homes here, and we see the utility poles, it looks like this is going to sweep to the right. So a few other facts. But here again, just using these vehicles sort of as a guide rail, the poles, tree lines, both sides, vehicles coming the other way, the vehicle I happen to be following, a few more tools that you can put in your toolbox. So next time you're out riding, try to make use of some of these tips, no matter what environment you're in, looking for those features above the road.